Today we're gonna talk about the things that you can do to save money when you have acne.
Okay, but first, here's a quick recap of my acne history. In my early 20s, I got really bad acne, like really bad, and treating it had a cost. So let's see how you can save money when you have acne.
Before we go into the video, I wanted to say welcome to Elizabeth Jane McMillan. She's a new subscriber, so Elizabeth, welcome to my channel. I hope that you will find all the tips that you're looking for and that you will have a good time. So now let's go into the video. Alright, so my first tip to save money when you have acne is to actually go see a dermatologist before you go out and buy any and all of the products that are out there and that are supposedly made for acne and to treat acne. The thing with acne, in my experience, is that it's really important to know where it's from so you can treat it and treat the cause of your acne instead of just treating the symptoms. And it's really hard to do on your own. It's really hard to kind of figure out what, caused your acne in the first place. So it is good to go see a dermatologist so they can help you, find out what caused your acne, so you can then choose and buy products that are made for your skin condition, your skin type, your type of acne. However, before you go see any dermatologist, I would recommend that you research dermatologists and the reviews that they have and how happy people were with them, and maybe you can ask around you if you know anyone that has acne, kind of who they went to see, if they were satisfied, if they were at ease, if the dermatologist actually helped them or not. In my experience, I went to see 2 dermatologists when I had really severe acne back in my early 20s. And I was very disappointed. I thought it was such a waste of money because in the first 5 minutes of both my appointments, both dermatologists prescribed me with Accutane. They did not say more than altogether probably 5 words during the whole appointment. That was probably 15 minutes. And they didn't look into my acne, into my skin. They didn't really help me figure out what caused my acne or what kind of acne I had. They just literally barely said hello, had me sit down, looked at my skin and were like, you need Accutane, and then did not say another word to me until the end of the appointment. So that wasn't a very nice experience, and I kind of wish, looking back, that I would have researched them a lot more and researched, maybe better dermatologists, maybe other doctors that could have maybe helped me back then. What's so funny is that they both prescribed me Accutane and I ended up getting rid of my acne without it and with only natural products. So yeah, do your research before you go see any dermatologist, because you don't want to spend, tons of money just for appointments with like 10 different dermatologists that are not going to help you in the end. So do your research. Now, another thing that I would avoid in order to save money is buying products that you see on TV that are supposedly going to treat your acne. I am not a big fan of those products. The reason for that, it's not that they don't work or that they never work. It's more that usually they only treat your symptoms, so they're going to focus on getting rid of the pimples, but they're not going to focus on actually getting rid of your acne and the cause of your acne. So you might be using, a cleanser that works for you and gets rid of the pimples, but the pimples constantly come back. And so you're spending money on something that's kind of working but not really, if you know what I mean. So I would just steer clear from those because they're not the best, and at best they're going to treat your symptoms, so get rid of your pimples, but at worst they're going to actually hurt your skin. They're usually really rough. The ingredients are not usually that good, so they're usually going to be really rough on your skin and scrap your skin and end up making it worse, with you ending up with more pimples and maybe even more skin issues than you had before. So I would just try and avoid those just because they never actually really work. Now, when I had acne, I had a big issue. It was that my skin was also dry and hurt a lot, so it was always really tight and it was physically hurting me and it was not comfortable at all. And I tried so many different moisturizers and serums just trying to make my skin feel more comfortable, and none of them really work except for this one. I love aloe vera gel. I've said it before, it's one of my favorite products. It definitely saves my skin more often than I can count. This one is maybe not the most natural you can find out there, but it works for me, so I go ahead and use this one. But you can find very natural aloe vera gel out there, and it's really good for your skin, and I personally am a fan. I cannot live without this anymore. And honestly, compared to all the more expensive moisturizer that I've tried before, and some of those were really expensive, this works wonders, and it's just amazing, and it's pretty cheap. You can find it on Amazon for like very cheap, like under $20. So, you know, sometimes the price doesn't actually mean anything, and going with a cheaper product actually works better. So I would totally recommend this instead of buying an expensive moisturizer. Now, if there is a product out there that you think, you know, would really help with your acne and is perfect for your skin type and your type of acne, but it's expensive, then what I would do to save money is to actually look up the core ingredients of that product and try to see if you can find a similar product that's cheaper but with the same core ingredients. Usually, like in all the moisturizers and products that I've tried, there was never like a very rare ingredient in there, so I feel like that's totally possible to find an equivalent that's cheaper but with the same core ingredients. Another thing that you can do to save money when something is a bit expensive is using a cashback websites. I've talked about them before. There's tons out there. It really depends where you're based, so it depends on your country, but they pretty much give you back a little bit of the money that you spend. So, you know, it helps when you're trying to save money. Now, one thing that I would definitely recommend, and I did this a ton when I had acne, in order to save money but also in order to protect your skin, is to actually ask for samples. If you have a Sephora nearby, they are really good at giving out samples. I never had one issue. I would always go in and ask, and they would always give me even multiple samples, whether it was foundation or moisturizer. So it's just better because you don't want to go ahead and buy a product that might be, you know, 40 euros and then end up 2 days later finding out that the product is giving you pimples or is drying out your skin or is really oily for your skin, and it's just making your acne worse. So you don't want to have to spend that money and then regret it 2 days later. So by getting samples, you can try it at home and see if it's something that actually works for you, and then you can go back and buy it if you're actually satisfied. Okay, so this next one is a bit debatable, and it's going to really depend on the person. So I'm not telling you to do it or not do it. It's kind of up to you, like everything's up to you really, but it's buying less makeup. For me, when I had acne, I knew makeup wasn't really affecting my acne because mine was coming from inside. It was inside issues, but makeup, you know, it can kind of suffocate your skin and it can make it worse, even though it's not the primary cause. So it really depends on your type of acne, the cause of your acne, kind of, you know, if you're really good at taking your makeup off, all that kind of stuff. So it's very personal. But for me, I knew that I really wanted to stop wearing makeup when I had acne because I wanted to let my skin breathe. So I stopped wearing makeup very early on when my acne got really, really bad. And I think it did help my skin. That said, I totally know how it feels to have really bad acne and wanting to cover up. So I'm not going to tell you to never do it. Like, you know, it's very personal again. So it's up to you. But by stopping buying makeup and wearing it all the time, I definitely saved a ton of money. And I feel like it did help my skin heal faster. So that's just one tip I wanted to throw out there. So now let's enter the last part of this video, which is acne positivity. And I sure hope that this part will help you the most because I feel like acne positivity is so important. Pretty much what it means to be acne positive is that you don't have to hate yourself for having acne. I know very well what it feels like to have acne. I hated my skin, I hated myself, I was crying all the time, I was crying every day, I hated the way I looked, and I just wanted to get rid of it as soon as possible, which resulted in me buying pretty much every and any products that could potentially clear out my acne. I ended up spending a lot of money. sometimes for products that I never even used once, because you know, when you have acne, you go through all these different phases where you want to use as many products as you can to get rid of it, and then you're like, maybe I should not use any products, so you don't use any of the products you just bought. So it's, you know, it's a constant battle with yourself, and my self-esteem really suffered, my finances really suffered, and I feel like back then not a lot of people talked about acne and how normal it is to have acne, how normal it is to have acne as an adult. It's actually very common, and I wish people talked about it a lot more and didn't cover up that much, and you know, felt better being natural and with no makeup even though they have acne, because it is so common. It almost doesn't make sense that people would cover up, because it's so common, like so many people have it and suffer from it, that like on top of everything else you are putting yourself through covering it and making sure no one sees it when other people have it too. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I just want to spread the word out there that it's okay to have acne, it's okay to have pimples, it's okay to have, you know, color on your skin, it's okay to suffer from it, but it's also okay to be okay with it. You don't have to want to get rid of your acne as fast as possible. You know, some people have acne for years and they're really happy, and actually there are some gorgeous people out there who have acne. When I say gorgeous, I mean physically gorgeous, like they're gorgeous, they're beautiful people, and they do have acne, but they just look really pretty, and their acne is not getting in the way of how, you know, physically pretty they are. So I feel like there's such a stigma around acne that as soon as you have a few pimples, it makes you ugly, it makes you worthless, it makes you, you know, someone that no one wants to be friends with. It's so wrong. Like, it's so wrong to think those things. So I just want to spread the word out there that it is normal to have acne. And when you start understanding this, and when you start feeling better about yourself and your acne, you take a step back and you take the time to actually research products that are good for your skin, that fit your skin type and your type of acne, and then you end up spending a lot less money. And I wish that when I had acne, people talked a lot more about acne positivity and that it's normal to have acne, because then, you know, it would have made me feel a lot more comfortable with myself, and I wouldn't have spent that much money on a bunch of products I never used. So I hope that through this video you can feel better about yourself, feel better about your acne, and at the same time save money, and, you know, spend that money on things that actually make you happy, so you can go out and enjoy your life, because your life is passing you by, and it does not matter that you have acne. You have to live your life, you have to enjoy living it to the fullest with your friends, with your family, and the emphasis shouldn't be on your skin and shouldn't be on you hating your skin every day and hating yourself every day. Alright guys, well, I hope this video, you know, was helpful. I hope that I somehow helped you at least a little bit feel better about your acne and your finances, and that you can use that money to actually live your life and put that money into things that actually matter. So if the video helped you or you feel better about yourself, please leave me a comment down below, and you can join the channel as well by subscribing so you don't miss another money saving tip video, and I'll see you next week for a new video. Bye!